Hi everybody, and welcome to the Queen City Yarn Dying to Knit podcast. My name is Kristen, and this is episode 26 of the podcast. Today is Friday, April the 3rd, and it has been quite a while since I podcasted due to everything that's going on in the world. With the kids home and everything, it's been a little hard to podcast. I'm in a different location on the floor in front of my yarn cabinet. And the kids are playing a game on their iPad. So I thought I'd take a few minutes to try and record a podcast. Hopefully this will work out well. If you are looking for me online, you can find me on Instagram as Kristen C, also Queen City Yarn. And on Ravelry, I'm just Kristen, and my designs are Kristen Clement Designs. So this is episode 26. This is a podcast about knitting and crochet and yarn dyeing, pretty much just my adventures in making things. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope the lighting and everything is okay. I've got the windows open, as you can, see the glare in the cabinet over there. I didn't set up lights and stuff today, so hopefully you'll be able to see everything well. But anyway, I have finished objects to show, a ton of work in progress, and yeah, I've caught the cast on bug with everything going on. I just need all these options, I guess. So let's start with finished objects. The first thing I would like to show is the ASHBROOK shawl. I finally finished this project not too long after my last podcast. This is ASHBROOK by TAMY GORE, and it's huge. And I love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm actually not planning on keeping this for myself. I'm going to use this as a Christmas gift for my sister-in-law. As much as I absolutely love it, I also love having Christmas things done. And to be quite honest, this caramel color, Copper Penny, is like totally her color. And my mom made her a sweater that is used this color it's actually a Brooklyn tweed sweater. She made her in Hayloft, I think it is, but I think that this will look really beautiful with it, and it's totally her style. So that's going to be a Christmas gift, but I'm super excited to have it finished. I used Old Soul Fiber Co. yarn that my friend Danny dyed, and I just love the way it turned out. The colors are, this here is Copper Penny, this one is Raspberry Truffle, and the gray with all the speckles is called London Fog. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. It was ASHBROOK by TAMY GORE, minus some bobble rows, because I wasn't a huge fan of the baubles. I have two other finished objects. The first are my little booty socks that I was making, the Christmas booty socks. This is out of Simply Sock Yarn Company Post yarn in the Jollyville, Texas colorway. And so yeah, I'm finished with these. I'm really excited about them. And I have cast on another pair of socks, maybe a couple pairs of socks. Anyway, and the other finished object I have is a new design release for me. This is called the Nightlife Cowl, and it's in our Biddleville DK, Queen City Yarn Biddleville DK, and it just uses two skeins, and it is a colorwork cowl. I released this pattern last week, but I super love it. Thank you so much to everyone who has purchased a copy of the pattern and has purchased some Queen City yarn to knit it with. We really appreciate it. And just a side note, at Queen City Yarn, we've got a lot of kits up on the website, and we just really appreciate everyone still shopping. And we are offering free shipping on all orders currently. So this is the Nightlife Cowl. Uses two skeins of Biddleville DK. The green that I used was Irish Disappearing Trick, and the speckle is Lucky Charms, which was our kind of St. Patty's Day colorway this year, which I totally love how it turned out. All those little bright color specks, like the marshmallows in the cereal. So anyway, those are all of the finished things that I have to chat with you about today. I've got quite a few works in progress. Some you've seen and some you haven't. Quite a few things are new. Let me start with things that I think I've showed you before. So the first one I'm going to show is FELIX, and this is a pattern by SAVORY Knitting. This is the FELIX pullover, and this is a pullover sweater that I won't be able to wear this season because it's already warm. I'm wearing a linen t-shirt today. It's supposed to be warming up today, but last time I showed it, I had just split for the sleeves and was just, I had a couple inches there. That's where my little marker is. So I've completed the body of the sweater and I'm working on the first sleeve. And you can see the pretty lace detail. That line there is where I still have those sleeve stitches on hold, so I can measure anywhere in the sleeve to see how far I am. And I am knitting the sleeve using double pointed needles because I didn't want a magic loop, and that's working out. So I think I've got one more decrease on the first sleeve, and I'm just marking the decreases with those split ring markers from Coco Knits, which I really am enjoying. And then I have a second sleeve, and then it'll be done after weaving in the ends. And for this sweater, I am using Echo View Fiber Mill yarn, and the yarn that I am using is the Recycled Yarn Collective 2-ply chunky. And so it's RYC 2-ply chunky. It's a 90% American wool, 10% recycled yarn and sweaters. This colorway that I'm using has with recycled neckties, and it's called Man Eater. So it's really fun. It does shed quite a bit, so I think I'm gonna have to like take a lint roller to it before I wear it, because I tried it on over a dress and then I was like covered in fluff. But I really like it. It looks super cute over. I have a linen dress that's like oversized and super comfy, but it looks super cute over that. So I think I'll enjoy that a lot come fall. Okay, the next thing, well, maybe I showed you these last time, probably. I cast on another pair of DK weight socks. This is another Christmas gift I'm working on. This might actually be a birthday gift for my brother in October, but I've completed the first sock. I definitely showed these last time. And this is Online Super Sock, and it is a DK weight sock yarn, 6-ply, I believe. Yeah, 6-ply. The colorway is, God bless you, Ryan. That's my son sneezing. 1431 is the colorway, and it's just great. So I've got the cuff of the second one done, and I've just started stockinette, like 2 rounds of stockinette. I've been taking these socks with us. We've been, thankfully, since, you know, we're stuck in the house, the kids are not going to school and stuff, we have some trails in our neighborhood, so we've been taking walks on the trails, and I'm using my Hohe & Company BA bag, and it works really good for walking and knitting. So I just throw the keys to the house and bring the sock, my phone I can throw in there. So I've been enjoying that this bag a lot because of that. So I think that might be all of the ones that you've actually seen in progress. The next thing I'll show you is a pair of socks that I cast on. I'm using the leftovers from the COWL that I made Caitlin from our February yarn Studio Series Yarn Club. The colorway I choose to be a llama corn. So I had some leftovers, and I cast on another pair of shorty socks. These are not going to be like booty socks. These are more like athletic shorty socks for me. I have a few pairs that I've made that have just pretty much an inch altogether, with a little bit of ribbing and then a little bit of stockinette before I start the heel. So I've cast on this one of these. I used a mini skein in grape for the heel, and I'll do the same for the toe. And I'm just doing the double gusset, and I have these like little cute little star. They're like paper star stitch markers, marking where I'm doing my my gusset decreases. So that's on the needles, and those are going to be for me. I've been working on another sock that I haven't touched in ages. These have been up here just on my desk. I don't know if I've ever even shown them on the podcast. Maybe once. But it is this is a sock blank that I dyed when we first started dyeing yarn. And I was playing around with this like watercolor kind of like spreading technique. And I really love the way this sock blank turned out. And so I've knit one of the socks, and this has been knit for quite some time. Actually, it was waiting for a toe for a long time. But I did a fish lips kiss heel, and it's just a regular length sock, fish lips kiss heel with a wedge toe in hot pink. And so the first one is finally done, and the second one I've cast on. I just did the ribbing and a couple little rounds of the stockinette. Like I said, these were living up here in my office, like on my desk. And until recently, all of the time that I've spent really up here in my office at my desk, I've been doing work. But with the kids home and my new role as a teacher to a kindergartner and a second grader, after I give them an assignment and help them with it, getting started on an assignment, I have a few minutes, and so I've been working on a round or two on those socks randomly. And that's in this cute bag. This is from that purple girl. I got it sometime during this October, I believe. Oh yeah, during October, because the inside is all October. From when Janice and Ann were recording the Carolina Fiber Girls audio podcast. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 more things on the needles to show you. The next thing I cast on is another gift that's going to be for my brother. This is going to be a Christmas gift for him, and this is called the COHENSIDE cowl. My friend Shana designed this cowl for her husband, and it's a fingering weight cowl, knit flat, and then you seam it. Hold on, let me take it out of the needle keeper so I can show it to you. So I'm not super far on it. I'm maybe a third of the way, I think. But I'm using some leftovers, and yeah, that's the right side. So it's like garter stitch and a rib and like a broken rib in there. It's really pretty. I'm enjoying it. It's really simple and satisfying to knit on. So I'm using size 3 needles, and the yarn that I'm using is like this army green, it's a fuzzy, like an army green almost, and this is a Malabrigo sock yarn, Alcocil, I think, I don't know how you say it, but it's those leftovers that I had used. I think it was maybe like an edging in a shawl or something, or in a shawl, I don't know. It was a very big ball of yarn left that was in my yarn cabinet, already caked up and ready to go, and I was like, that would be perfect. So, and I don't remember the maker of these, but this is a wooden double-pointed needle holder. I feel like it might be Knitsy or something like that, but it's beautiful, handmade wooden double-pointed needle holder. So that's on the needles, and then I'm making myself a new pair of slippers. This is in a Tanny Casey bag. So I love knitted slippers, and I've been knitting for years now, probably for 15 years now. I've been knitting the Malabrigo loafers. I think it's a Cocoa Knits pattern, and I've worn through them so many times. And I just made my husband a pair of slippers, which I actually designed them myself because he wanted them differently from those loafer style that I had been making him. And when I ordered the slipper bottoms, I couldn't find the kind that I really liked or that I had used before, which was like suede on the bottom with like a Sherpa kind of lining and then it came up with little holes punched around so you could seam them in. So I wasn't pleased with those slipper bottoms. I didn't want to use those for my new slippers because I've walked a hole in mine now. And I think the slippers that I've been wearing, those Malabrigo loafers, I'm pretty sure I knit those for myself the year before I got pregnant with Ryan. And that was my second pair of them. So I've walked through 2 pairs now. So anyway, I'd been looking at these slipper bottoms. It's by, I wonder if I have a thing in here. Yes. So I've been looking at these slipper bottoms for a while now. It's by Joe's Toes. And you can go to joestoes.com. Here's the information there. So I've been looking at these felted slipper bottoms for a while now. They're felted and they have all the holes punched, and you order them by size. And so I finally decided I was going to use these for mine. So I ordered like a natural gray, sweatshirty kind of gray for 1 layer. And then I ordered a second layer. And these actually, you can't see, maybe you can a little bit. They have a non-slip like print kind of on the bottom. You can kind of see it if the light hits it the right way. See, it's like a non-slip, non-skid kind of stuff finish on the bottom of them. And it also has the holes pre-punched. And so I finished one and attached it to the natural colored sole. And then I still have to attach this sole to the bottom. So, and I used the pattern on the those Joe's Toes. They have a free pattern online for their slipper, which is really cool. So I've sewn one on. Obviously still have an end to weave in. They're really comfy though. Just they're not done. I haven't been wearing them all the time obviously yet, but I really like the way it turned out, and it was super easy to knit. You actually just knit a huge strip of garter stitch and like a chunky yarn, which I didn't have one that I wanted to use, so I held a whole bunch together, and this is what I came out with. So the yarns that I used were, I had this one in stash. This is a Bare Naked worsted weight wool, Corriedale, in the cookies and cream colorway is this. And this was the only heavyweight yarn that I held. And then I used Queen City yarn, our Noda sock, in the colorway Sneak. I used a Malabrigo in Lettuce. These are all fingering weight, by the way, except for that one Bare Naked wool. And then this is a Peepaloo Fields yarn. So I held these together, and then I also had another one, but I used it all. The Peepaloo Fields is called Screams. That's this one. And then I had a dark green, you can kind of see it there, hanging out a little bit, maybe in front of my face. That was a Sanguine Griffin, leftovers from Sanguine Griffin, which I had used. I've used that yarn so many times. I used it in the hat that I made my father-in-law for Christmas this year too. So I've made this part, and now I just have to seam that onto the slipper bottoms and then attach the very bottom slipper bottom. So I'm looking forward to getting those done, and that is a project I don't think I showed last time, but that I've been working on and looking forward to now, especially now we're going to be home so much. It'd be nice to have a new pair of slippers to wear around the house. And I actually just got this waxed, it's still in the thing so you can't really see, waxed polyester cording to sew that bottom layer on with, and then Caitlin and I will make some bracelets and some stuff with that too. So, okay, there's only one more project to show, and this is my latest cast on. I'm doing a knit along, like a lockdown and knitting or COVID cast on kind of knitting with some of my friends. And actually we're inviting people to join us in that summer sweater knit along over on Instagram, and have been posting under Queen City on Instagram a lot of inspiration sweaters for, casting on that you may be interested in. But the sweater the one that I'm doing is called the WHAKAIRO top, and it's by AROHA Knits. So I am using the Queen City Yarn Noda sock in the colorway Raspberry Beret for this cast on, and I have split for where the sleeves are going to go already, and it's got this really beautiful lacy cable. Everything is twisted stitches on the front, and then this garter ridge pattern is completely on the back. So I split mine. I think I may have gotten a little ahead of myself and split maybe 3/4 of an inch early, but this top, because of the lace and cables, I'll have to wear something under it anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'm also thinking maybe it will be cute over that same linen dress that I was talking about earlier. So I'm really enjoying it. I enjoyed the pattern a lot more in the round because twisted purl stitches are not super fun. But look how pretty it is. I mean, it's just working up so pretty. And the twisted stitches, as much as they're not my favorite thing to knit, they really give a crisp beauty to the lace and cables there that are featured on the front. So I think it's worthwhile. I'm alternating skeins. And this is the Raspberry Beret, my very messy balls of Raspberry Beret. And these are living in, it's Queen City. And Noda sock in Raspberry Beret. And this is living in a Woodsy and Wild project bag right now. So, those are all the things that I'm working on. I have 0 show notes. So, I guess I would just like to invite you to join us in the summer sweater knit along. We have a bundle on our website for the summer sweaters. We're giving 9 days of inspiration. Some of the designers have offered discounts on the sweater patterns that we're recommending, and we're just showing off on Instagram. We're showing off our favorite 9 summer sweater samples, and then recommending colors or yarn for those sweaters. So we have quite a bit of yarn in stock, already dyed up and ready to ship, but we also know that we don't have every color dyed and ready to ship. And so one thing that we have done is created a custom order listing, and you can find that by either searching custom order on the website in the search bar, or you can also find it in the 9 summer sweaters under shop on our website. And so you can order whatever quantity of any colorway that we have that we've dyed ever. You can order for your summer sweater cast on. And yeah, I don't know, I think that's it. Things have been kind of crazy with the kids home. Doing the e-learning thing. Their schools started that right away, and we're actually looking forward to spring break next week, which is cool that we're not going to have to do schoolwork, but it's kind of a bummer because I had all these things planned for what we were going to do during their spring break. My mom was going to come visit, and we were going to take little day trips and go places and do things. So we'll be doing some of that stuff virtually next week. But we're just trying to get used to this new normal. One thing that we are trying to do is kind of find the silver lining. And what we have found for that is that we get to have dinner together every night. My husband's not having to do any traveling at all. And we are doing puzzles and things like that together and just spending time together as a family. So that's really been nice. I hope that you're staying busy with your knitting and finding some silver linings in what's going on in our world for you. And yeah, I guess that's it. So until next time, happy knitting and stay safe. Bye.